Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Cocktail Hour. I am Meg.
And I'm Nikki. And if you're a vendor heading to a wedding this weekend, this episode is dedicated to you.
If you're not already watching on YouTube or Spotify, please do, because we have a special guest today. You can probably see him in frame. I'm not exactly sure, but it's this slug that is currently just slung over Nikki's bod. Today we're talking through client breakups and when we need to learn to say no. No, I will not book you. So
I love that.
But first things first, my favorite part, update.
Okay, I will go first just because we really don't have much of an update today because things have just been so crazy. Wedding season has been a little nutty. We've been busy. Our water in the cities of Crystal, Golden Valley, and New Hope went out. Did you get an alert or see that on the news?
No.
Yes. So
I live in Minneapolis. We don't care about crystal lights.
You guys don't give a fuck. What day was it? I think it was when did I get my hair cut? Monday. So it was Sunday. Sunday morning, we get up. I hear people kind of puttering around. My mom was looking for some valves. Couldn't find, the water just wasn't running properly.
Ugh.
And we were like, okay, what's going on? So then her boyfriend had looked it up, and apparently those cities, because we share a water system.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I keep moving this.
No, you're good. I've already moved it 3 times. Real quick to pause. Before we started, I was like, okay, Nick, we got to work on not moving our mics because when I'm editing and throwing it up on YouTube, I like to have it nice and symmetrical. And by the end of the podcast, it's just dang, they're all over the place.
How about we just work on moving them in and out instead of up and down, right?
Smart.
Yeah.
Because then they're always in the same. Okay, back to the crystal water.
So back to my water mishap. So basically, we saw on Facebook, of all places, that our water system was down. There was some malfunction with a valve. Yes.
Was it City of Crystal Facebook or just?
Yes, it was
residents?
A city,
okay.
Yeah, City of Crystal something Facebook. And at first we thought it was just New Hope and Golden Valley. Then we found out Crystal was affected as well. When I tell you, so those 3 cities you can't brush your teeth. Mm-hmm. There was a boil advisory. However, when I tell you that I turned my faucet on in the basement and it was brown.
When you say boil advisory,
that means that you have to boil any water that
you're
you use.
Consume.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It was brown.
Yeah.
And what this made me think of, and this went on for 2 days. So the advisory just came off yesterday evening. And my friend messaged me and was like, hey, I just saw your Snapchat. She lives in Crystal. And was like, I haven't seen anything about this. What's going on? I don't know why this isn't on the news, why there haven't been alerts or anything about this if it's such a big thing. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. So they then sent out, when you get an Amber Alert in your phone, it goes, bah!
Yeah.
They did that for our cities for that. And they should have done it right when it happened. It went out 6 hours after I had seen this on Facebook. The news started obviously covering it. But what it made me think of was Flint, Michigan.
Yeah.
And how there are entire communities who are still affected with unclean water. And I'm thinking to myself, this is 2 days.
Yeah.
This is 2 days of this. What would you do? Not to panic anybody who has, insane thoughts like we. But my mind started rushing what would we do if we didn't have a clean water source?
Yeah. And I think, we always talk about greatest country in the world. That cannot be happening in a city for it to be that long non-clean water. I do wonder, I haven't looked into it much, which maybe sounds terrible, but y'all, if I looked into every bad thing that was happening in the world, I would never leave my home.
No, I would cry.
But I do wonder, is it businesses? Is it everybody? If you go to your local Lifetime Fitness, you can't take a shower.
Correct.
I wonder
it is.
how.
It is.
That's nuts.
It was. Because my mom was like, we can't even go to Lifetime to shower. We could drive to Plymouth and go to that one, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but what
it
about
was
the
everything.
families that don't pay $200 a
or
month for
who
their
don't
lifetime
have a
membership?
car,
Yeah.
who have to like bus places or walk
Yeah.
places? That's another thing. I saw a guy walking today, and I think to myself sometimes, like, okay, yes, my childhood was not ideal, did not have an ideal, upbringing in terms of things. It can always be worse.
Always.
It can always be worse. I think I saw this kid, full backpack. You could tell that he was leaving his home for the day, not knowing like when he could potentially go back home.
Yeah.
Like fully having to prepare yourself for the day, not having a car to like
Mhm.
put your shit in, and like you have to bring everything with you.
Yeah.
And then anticipate what you'll need all day.
Adam and I just had this conversation yesterday, not to start the pod on a real serious
Yeah,
note, but
sorry.
we're serious and funny and sad girlies all at the same time. But we saw a guy with a sign that said, like, I'm not on drugs, I'm not drinking, I just need help. And I told Adam, I said, even if he was on drugs and drinking, I don't care. Like,
I'll help you anyway.
in my lowest moments of sleeping in my car, I was spending all my money on gambling. Like, I needed some sort of reprieve from my life.
Yeah.
Like, those were the times where I was the most dumb with my decisions because I hated my life so much that I was like, I just need to disappear for a moment. So if you want to go buy some alcohol with the $20 bill I gave you,
go for it.
Good on ya.
Yeah.
Because I would want to be drunk in your position as well.
Yeah.
So I just sit there, like you said, things can always be worse.
Things can always be worse.
It's important to just like have grace for others.
And if I have rich friends who complain, I'm judging you. Just saying.
That's how I feel when my skinny friends complain.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm not even thin. I'm not gonna say I'm not thin. Okay. Whatever. We're not getting into that. Anyway, I got my hair cut. I wish I would have gone shorter. Next time you see me with a haircut, I'm chopping this bitch off. I'm not getting bangs like Meg did. Also judging anybody who gets bangs and cuts their hair beyond their shoulder
You know
length.
what the worst part is?
You got to do one or the other.
There's a photo where, do you remember when we were on the rooftop in Vegas and I was forcefully giving you cheek kisses?
Okay.
And I have a photo of it. And I was like, God, I look cute with like shorter hair and bangs. Like they were a little fringy. They were giving.
They were a little grown out from when you first got them.
When I first got my haircut, I looked like berries and cream.
Yes.
Absolutely. But they were a little grown out and I was like, God, I looked really cute. Like my hair was dyed. It was a little bit lighter, blonder. And I 100% was like, I want to go back to it. I won't
you can
before
lighten
the wedding,
your hair.
though.
I think like the lighter blonder is cute.
I need the cut though.
No.
But also that overall was just a very good night. I was in Vegas, favorite place. I was on a rooftop drinking.
A GT.
And I found out Beyonce's Cowboy Carter was happening. And I shed tears and screamed.
Oh my God, that is when you found out Cowboy Carter was happening.
And I screamed in front of strangers. So it's just overall a really great night. But grass is always greener. I feel like if you cut your hair, you will have times where you're like, what the fuck have I done? But then you'll have great times.
Of course. But I also am somebody who has cut my hair to here before.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what my hairstylist asked me when I told her, like, I really want to do a chop. And she was like, have you ever done one?
Yeah.
And I said, I have. It was about 10 years ago. We can insert a photo. I'll find one. And it was short. It was to my chin. It was short, but it was very cutesy.
I bet.
So we're debating.
Did you have a rounder face at the time? Because you have a very slim face now.
I was more filled out.
Yeah. You were a higher calorie person.
I was a higher calorie count.
I have to be honest, I'm really debating pulling myself from GLP-1s.
Okay.
I had a very hard week last week. I did not take it this week. And I keep telling myself, like, if you just took regular medication that you should be taking for your mental stability and just went on some walks and maybe lifted a few milk jugs from here and there, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be more than fine. You'll be a little bit more stable and you won't be having these swings with the shots. But it makes me very nervous before a wedding to stop it. And then if we get to the wedding and if I've gained weight, I think I'll be devastated. Now, mind you, I do not care what you look like. I don't care about anything. It's
a personal thing.
It's a personal thing, but I've struggled with my weight for the last like 15 years. And I'm like, okay, if there's any time to be a little bit thinner, it would be your wedding. In my opinion, like
That's how you feel
That's
about
how,
yourself.
yeah. Like if I ever cared, it's
That's
because
how
I
you feel
just want to
about
feel
you.
confident in a wedding
Yes.
dress because I don't wear dresses. I'm not like a girly girl and
Yeah.
whatever. And so I don't know if I grit and bear it for the next 9 months until we get married and then see how it goes after the shot. We'll see.
Can you just do like every
Like a-
other week or like?
Yeah, I think I just need to go back to the doctor because they have to weigh me and do a physical before they'll let
Yeah.
me change my dosage. But I need to like cut my dosage in a fourth. It's too
You got to
much.
call that doctor.
I know.
After
Dr.
this
Goodell, I'm
episode.
coming for you. It's just like the doctors, they book out 3 weeks.
I know.
Why are you so busy?
I know.
Everyone's ill.
Everyone needs to see their doctor.
I do. I need to go to the doctor. I need to go to the dentist, the psychiatrist.
Same.
It was a lot. Okay, what else? Anything else happened this week?
No, I thought you were going.
I was just talking over your update.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You shot a wedding. You shot a Louis wedding.
Yes, that was great
Yep.
and wonderful.
Got to work with Jess at Ever Weddings for the first
Love
time.
her.
This is how petty I am. Is we had a call yesterday with Jess, the wedding planner, and I straight up, they just started giggling right away, and I straight up was like, y'all can't become better friends than I am with each of you individually.
What would you do if such a thing were to happen?
Honestly, I probably would be like, I'm happy for them because I'm tired and it's hard for me to maintain adult friendships. So if you guys could entertain each other more, it may work in my favor.
We should do a happy hour though.
I agree. I think we'd
that
all
would be really fun.
get along wonderfully. I love Jess and I love you, and I'm not surprised that you guys would get along.
Yeah, we're both Latinas. Did you know that?
I mean, I guess I could have assumed. I try not to just assume anyone with rich dark hair though is Latina for fear of generalizing people. But
Try not to assume.
yes. Okay, my update. I literally wrote this. Weddings are kicking my fucking ass right now. I had 2 this last weekend. You had 1, which meant Sunday I get home from Colorado.
Technically, you had 3 and I had 2. If you're counting Thursday, because you were when you.
I am, but I had Thursday and Saturday.
So did I.
Oh.
I was with you on Thursday.
Oh yeah. But I just mean from an editing perspective, I had
God, yeah.
I had to do the sneak peeks for
Hell
3
no.
weddings on Sunday when I got back from Colorado.
Hell no.
And that was a lot. And then engagement sessions and everything. I am so happy for my job. I talk about that all the time. But you can be happy and very thankful for what you have in the career and whatever business that you have and still feel overwhelmed.
It can be 2 things at once. I believe that things can be 2 things at once.
Yeah.
I think that you can really love what you do and be super grateful for it while also feeling very overwhelmed and
Yes.
very burnt out at times.
Yeah. Agreed. So I am very thankful. But yeah, it's busy. And now it's busy season. For the last probably month and a half, I really haven't had double headers. And now it is double header central. There's so much going on. Again, if you're not watching on YouTube and Spotify, you should because
You're missing out.
You're missing out. Opie has just laced himself through myself and the mic.
He went from plopping on me to plopping on Meg, full on plop.
Okay.
He's so cute.
Went to Colorado. I flew in on Friday, had a wedding on Saturday at the Manor House.
Was it gorgeous?
Stunning.
The fields that you guys were in looked beautiful.
Yeah, that was right backyard
Really?
of the manor. So beautiful. Inside the manor is beautiful. Like every room was great. The couple's great. Shout out to Bella and Pat. Bella's also a wedding photographer.
Oh, really?
When she originally booked me, I believe she was just like starting out.
Okay.
And if you know me, you know that I don't take on wedding photographer weddings. It makes me very nervous. We've talked about that before, but with Bella being newer and us kind of hitting it off, I was like, I think it'll go great. And it was wonderful. And it was also kind of nice that she and Pat also kind of understood how crazy weddings can be and how much work it can be.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. But there was so much intentionality and all the details and the experience.
Also a difference
Yeah.
that I find wedding vendors have on their wedding days.
Yeah, we see so much so that when we're putting together a wedding, there's a lot of intentionality. But what I found at Bella and Pat's wedding is there was a lot of focus on the experience and just people having fun. And this is a PSA for anyone planning a wedding, that your photographs are not like, yes, your photographer absolutely matters, but if your guests, if your friends and family, if you are not having fun, your photographs are not going to look like those ones you see on Pinterest.
They'll reflect that you're not having fun. There's nothing that we can do to change that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter your flower budget. It doesn't matter anything.
This dog looks like a baby seal right now. I'm sorry.
So
he looks like a little baby seal who is just fully plopped, and he's alert. That's the thing. When he plopped on me, he fell asleep. Right now, he is alert, and he is with it, and he is like, you want to come plop
you
on
can't
me?
just lay on my knee. But yeah, it doesn't matter the budget you have for the wedding. If you are not enjoying yourself, if your people aren't, you'll be able to see that. And there's also no weddings that I want to be a part of. Like, it doesn't matter how big the budget is. I don't want to be a part of it if, like, you're just going to be miserable.
Right.
That's not fun.
Because it does show, and it's really hard to for us to do anything about that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is something that we cannot change.
Agreed.
Also, yeah, I feel like we should share. We're tired. I got drunk last night and was sending Meg videos singing Beyonce with Z.
That made me so happy. And you knew the words. Like, you knew the words.
Yeah, I'm not a noob.
I mean,
you know, I know you think less of me because I'm not a stan, but I'm not a noob.
No, I don't think less of you. I think there's just untapped potential because I know that if we went to go see Cowboy Carter, I actually think you would become a stan. I think you'd be so fucking blown away. I think you know that Beyonce is fantastic.
Of course.
But until you see her live, it's a different
It's
thing.
a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Okay.
We, I will say, I was in Colorado and I was like, look, if Nikki and I would do a bachelorette for myself, technically for you too, in Vegas, I'm going to blow so much money. Like, I bet it will be cheaper.
I will hold on to your cards. I will hold your phone. I will not let you Venmo me. I will lock
Here's
them
what's
up.
going to happen. You'll get a few G&Ts in. You'll get a few packs of cigarettes in. And you won't be thinking straight. You won't be thinking straight. But so here's the crazy that I do in my head. I go, okay, if we go to Vegas, we'll spend a bunch of money. We'll be drunk the whole time, whatever. But instead, we could allocate that money toward going to see Beyonce in Atlanta in 48 hours. So I text Nikki and I go, hey, what if we did this? And then I start looking at prices. Tickets round trip from Minneapolis to Atlanta, $800 a piece. Then
I didn't even respond right away because I was like, I don't know, for one, what you're talking about. And for two,
you're like, if you are talking about what I think you're talking about,
I can't afford this.
And then, well, it would have been a bachelor. I would have covered it because that's how bad I wanted to go. The show tickets were going to be $600 to $700 a piece, which actually aren't as bad.
I was going to say, that's not as bad as I thought they were going to be.
And then the hotel was going to be $600 a night, the one that was right next to the stadium, so we could just walk back because getting an Uber is not an option.
It's not realistic.
So I ran the numbers and I was like, okay, this is going to be a lot. But I honestly was going to fucking do it and just be like, I've paid for it. Get your ass on a flight. Go to my house. Get my cowboy boots and meet me in Atlanta.
Get to the airport
now. And then I started thinking about, I was so exhausted. And I was like, okay, Meg, you're going to have to take these next 3 days to get to Atlanta, go to the show, come back home, and then you have engagement sessions, like all of these different things.
Imagine us after that.
We'd be flying home from Atlanta today. Yeah. And I'd be incredibly cranky. Yeah.
There's no way.
So we didn't do it, but...
Which was the adult choice for us to do. We made the correct decision.
Agreed. But I did tell Nikki that when you have to take a selfie with Opie really quick just to like see his face. I need you to see it.
Sweetest guy.
So sweet. But I did tell Nikki that when Cowboy Carter comes out in theaters, fingers crossed it does, that just like Renaissance does, I would like to see it.
I will do that.
And I will
take
put a
some
bride
shrooms.
cowboy hat on.
I'll take some shrooms before.
Do you want to hear how crazy I am?
Why?
I don't want you to take shrooms. I got mad at Adam for drinking at the show. Drinking too much. Because I sit there and I go, you're not fully experiencing it if you're like that. And I need you to fully remember this night. And he's like, so I can't have some drinks? No, you can't.
If you think that this is going to convince me to go to a show with you.
I know. What'd you do? Well, I went to a concert with Meg, but she wouldn't let me have a single drop
held
of
me
alcohol.
hostage.
She actually held my eyeballs open the entire time. My retinas are burned. Okay, last thing.
Okay.
Love Island recap.
Okay. So I did not watch the finale. Meg has seen the finale. I know who won, obviously. If you are not caught up on Love Island USA, fast forward through this for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about it. And we're going to get into it. So I know who won simply because of social media.
Yeah. You can't hide from anything.
You can't hide from anything. So if you don't know, you probably already know.
Yeah.
I don't know who the runner-up, third place, or fourth place is, but I am going to guess. And I'm going to say who I wish, what order I wish it was in.
Yeah.
So my wish was, I know that Brian and Amaya win.
Yeah.
Amaya Papaya. America's Sweetheart, the winner. Okay. My hope was that Iris and Pepe would be second place.
Okay.
Nick and Olandria would be third, which I don't see what America sees. I don't see it.
We'll
I
get
really
into that,
don't.
But I agree.
Because to me, she's not into it. He's locked in. He's in there.
He's wrap these legs around me and never take them off.
He's in there.
Yeah.
I don't see it from her. And then Chris and Huda should not have even made it to the finale.
No.
That pisses me off that it was America's decision. Yeah, okay, I get that we didn't like Shelly and Ace. I also get that we didn't like Taylor and Clark. But to continuously vote off people who are coupled up on a show where you're supposed to find love, it's called Love Island. It makes no sense to me that you're voting off or that you have the ability to vote off the couples when you have Huda and Chris who clearly hate each other.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like each other at all. And they're in the finale?
Yeah.
Insane. That makes no sense to me.
And now, granted, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that the show is on a 2-day delay or something. They record whatever. So it's maybe America already voted prior to us being able to see Huda break up with Chris. But even so, y'all hated each other. You've been hating each other. It doesn't make sense.
They don't like each other.
So you said your hope was your hope that Amaya Papaya would win?
Yeah, out of all the people who are there.
Okay, so Amaya, Iris, I know I'm just naming
Iris
girls.
And Pepe, Olandria and Nick.
And then Huda and Chris.
But I think that Nick and Olandria got second place. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Which is so dumb.
Who do you think got third?
If you say it's not Iris and Pepe, I'm killing someone.
I'm just asking who you think.
Iris and Pepe. You're lying.
Iris and Pepe got last. And when I tell you that Iris, I was like, this bitch is about to break down in tears at any given moment when they're standing over there holding their little opaque champagne glasses for some reason. Their Love Island or their Love is Blind champagne glasses. And she's just standing there like, are you fucking kidding me? Chris and Huda looked shook.
My face?
Yeah. Shook. I was shook. I made Adam sit right where you're sitting right now, and we watched this television and held hands, and I was squeezing so hard, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? With that being said, I
hate this show now.
Actually,
I'm over it. I fucking hate it. I hate it.
I love Amaya, but Amaya, Papaya, and Chris, I was like, or not Chris, Brian, I was like,
I see it. I get it. I think they work really well together. I do.
I don't know. I just don't know if I'm getting that vibe from him. He seems all well and good, but I'm like, I think it's because he came in late in the game.
Yeah.
So I feel kind of iffy about him. He's not an OG, but do you think he split the money?
Oh, wait, why wouldn't she have the choice to split the money? Why was it his choice?
They each pulled an envelope. One had $0, one had 100,000, and he had the 100,000.
Oh, see, I've only ever seen one season, so I don't really know.
Oh, yeah, so that's the premise of the show.
Yes.
Is one person gets it, and they have to decide if they split it.
I think he split the money because otherwise he would be deemed a villain.
Yeah. He does split the money, and he said something very nice. He was like, Amaya and I have spoken at lengths about our childhood, and my dad said money is great and all, but it's not everything. And of course, I'll split it. Yeah, no, I
that
definitely
makes you think like, okay, he's a good person.
Yeah,
for sure. Does he maybe not have the intention to like marry her one day?
Yeah,
I would hope not. Not after a fucking game show on TV.
Yeah,
but I also don't think she has the intention. Maybe she does to marry him. Yeah. But I do think that they like made a really good match. He was the only person who stood up for her when she was getting bombarded and railroaded by the other men that she was coupled up with. And he was the only person, and he was so kind, and he's been so nice, and he's also a Latino male, so he does understand the dynamics of like a Latino household and family that like not a lot of people understand.
Yeah. And I will say, so the other couples, Hoda and Chris, let's take them off the docket because who fucking cares?
Hate
Iris and Pepe.
Lovers to friends situation. Do I think that Pepe is in love with
lovers?
Yes.
Okay.
Friends to lovers. Do I think Pepe is in love with Hannah? I hope so. I think he is. The thing is, Meg, I don't think anybody can hear that. And so in the video, you're just going.
I just look irritated. Real quick, we have Little here with us, dog, but we have two bigger dogs in the next room, and they're straight up Jean-Claude Van Damme trying to kick down the door. But I don't think you can hear it in the mics, so I'm going to try to ignore it so you don't just see me looking crazy.
And you're like, you go, and I'm like, no.
It's my rage bubbling up.
But I think that my hope at least is that, Iris maybe goes back to TJ and Pepe goes back to Hannah after the show, and that they were just kind of connecting to.
Wait, who is Hannah with? Oh, the Londoner.
Yes, Charlie.
Yeah.
They're just friends.
Okay.
I watched an after show thing on Instagram where Hannah was like, yeah, Charlie's the homie. Like, he's great. Like, we're friends.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about Pepe, and she's like, that's my husband.
Aww.
And so I can't even imagine, though, how hard it is to watch somebody that you fell so hard for then start fucking on some new girl.
Pepe's very touchy with Iris.
He's very PDA. I think that's his love language is,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But also my thing is you're on this show, sure to find love, but also 100 grand's up for grabs. You bet your ass I'm going to look as in love as possible. Give me
I can't believe they got fourth place.
No, me neither. I think America was a little messy with this one, but let's talk about where this messiness stemmed from, because I watched this video and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Ace, that little tiny nugget, Joffrey moving pieces all over the place. I just feel like his constant, like, you're not out here wanting to try everybody, and like voting people off for that. And I was like, that's not the point of the fucking show. And this is my first time watching it.
I agree.
It felt so diabolical. I didn't actually feel that bad for him and Shelly going home.
I didn't either. I thought they deserved to go home, but I thought they deserved to go home right after Huda and Chris.
Yeah, agreed.
I thought Huda deserved to go home light years ago. And I'm not a Huda hater. I'm not a bully. We're not here to shit on people.
Yeah.
But in this setting, in this show, in no way, if a man had spoken to a woman on national television and verbally accosted and verbally assaulted her, essentially, to her face, they would have sent him home.
Oh, yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, there would have been like a uproar.
Yes. And so I just don't agree with, Hurricane Huda and then her just being able to laugh it off and be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
As somebody who has been emotionally unstable, emotionally immature, emotionally insane, like I have been in that situation where I have fought with a man and we have gotten into it and I don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But to do it publicly on national television and to not have that control over your emotions in that way is actually really scary, because then you think like, how is she behind closed doors?
Not only that, you've known each other
for all of 5 minutes.
I'm like, you gotta.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those should be the wonder years, or like that should be the honeymoon phase where you're just so, that adoration. But you're already fighting immediately.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
There's a little
instability.
Thank you. That I'm like, I don't know. But
I don't like that.
people tell me is like, you got to watch season 6. I tried to start watching it the other
should,
day.
Actually, it's really, really good.
I will.
And that, I feel like, is how the show is meant to operate.
Yeah.
Is how season 6 went. Skip the first 3 episodes and jump into it. Because this season didn't have movie night. Movie night is where everybody who has stayed almost till the very end gets to watch back shit that they maybe weren't present for.
Ooh.
Gets to watch back moments of Casa Amor. Gets to watch back this shit. In season 6, the girls in the villa got sent videos on their cell phones of the guys in Casa Amor and got to see in live
how
time
they're interacting with the new
what
ones.
they were doing with the new girls. And it is
messy. I love
it was the messiest shit I've ever seen, but the way it all played out, I mean, reality TV gold. It played out like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
need to
have
watch it.
that.
It's really good, and you can sit and edit and have it on in the background. That's what I like about it, is that it's like kind of mindless, but it was so good. And just the character growth and like the changes, it's crazy.
I love. Okay, wait, let's talk about one more show that I recommend everybody watch, that we both watched that I just found out last night. Black Mirror.
Yes.
New season.
I've not only watched
one.
all of
I've only watched the first episode with Rashida Jones about her like trying to keep her alive and whatever. And here's what I'm going to say, because we don't want to give you spoilers.
Yeah.
Let Mother Nature take its course when the time comes.
Literally.
I looked at Adam after watching that episode and I was like, never. Just let me go.
It was heartbreaking.
Well, and throughout the first couple like subscription-based things, you know, you get like a little chuckle like, oh, this is so like ridiculous. And then it keeps getting worse and worse. And I was just like, it is what I'll say to anybody who hasn't seen it, because we probably are talking in code right now. It's Black Mirror is a show that really takes things to the nth degree in terms of the future and how crazy how bad, you know, crazy and negative things can get the more we push them. And for this episode, just think subscription services like our cell phones, Hulu, all this bullshit, but think about it on a crazy level, really serious topics, subscription services. And that's kind of what I'll leave you with. But that show, it gets you thinking about things.
And I will say Black Mirror is not a lighthearted, uplifting show by any means. It's not a mindless, it's not like a mindless Love Island where you can just like hee hee ha ha, whatever, talk about it on TikTok. To me, Black Mirror is essentially like a psychology course, basically, that you're watching, and really makes you deeply evaluate what the fuck you're doing.
And like your morals and how would you handle things if you were in that situation.
It's crazy.
Insane in the membrane. The one I watched that forever freaked me out was, spoiler alert, if this is years ago. Past seasons. But it was the one where it was the soldier who found out that they had been, I don't know if it was like drugged or what, to go into, let's say, another country and, I don't know, shoot up a village. But they saw monsters and it was really just other humans. But the medication made them see monsters.
And then he found out
like, oh no, this is
people.
This is people that I'm going in and just annihilating. And I remember I was like,
I don't remember that one.
The way
I'll have to look it up.
I was distraught because I was like, I could see that, because people want you to see your enemy, quote unquote, as a monster, when really it's just a human. And I was like, this show is so fucking crazy. And
it's messed up.
I didn't watch it for a really long time, but
like one of the first episodes is of the fucking politician fucking a pig on a camera. Like, it's the craziest show I've ever seen, and every episode is different. So you can watch literally any episode of any season, and it's going to there's no storyline necessarily tied to it. But the one that like kind of scared me, and I don't know if you saw this one, was the guy who was visiting his mom with his girlfriend, like in Ireland or something. And his girlfriend found this videotape of the parents and how the dad was a police officer and they would kidnap and torture people and murder people, like sex torture in their basement. It was so fucked up. It makes me want to throw up. It was disgusting.
And the son and his girlfriend were there, like doing a project,
investigating,
like doing a research project or something on the crimes,
the murders, the disappearances of people, and then they found out that, and it was sick. Like it made me sick to my stomach because they showed like video clips, and it just made me think like this actually happens to people, and like we are so naive, or like ignorance is so bliss that when things don't happen to you, or you know, it's not your reality, you're kind of just like, meh, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now that I feel like people are turning a blind eye to, and just kind of have this like ignorance is bliss feeling, like, well, it's not affecting me, it's not affecting my community, I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind, it's not a thing to me. It's a thing to me.
It's a thing. And it may be touching people that you know without you even understanding it. But the Black Mirror, there's some episodes that are very futuristic. There's some episodes that are like very dark. And then there are some that, again, it's like it brings up that moral thing. The one that I love is when all of the internet trolls essentially are murdered. Like by, I think it's, I don't know, like these futuristic hornets that have taken over because bees all died. And it's like, if you are a troll on the internet just commenting hateful things,
you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. And I was just like,
thank God.
That's insane. And I'm immediately like, okay, if I said anything crazy on the
Meg's
internet,
going back, like, let me look at my history.
You know what's funny? Actually, I think that to myself all the time. Not even to say, so I would never go on social media and just be like, you fat cow. So I'm like, number one,
that's
who's
insane.
got the time? I'm too busy. But on my business page, I try to be so mindful. If someone posts something crazy that I disagree with from a business perspective, sometimes I will type out a paragraph and I just delete it because I'm like, what is the point of getting into an argument with this person
on the internet?
Yeah. But there are so many times I type out the phrase, there's still time to take this video down.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
not worth my time. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Not my monkey. Anyways.
All right. First story here is titled The Breakup.
Mind you, I don't think Nikki's read this. I popped this in late last night, so we'll see.
Is this the one you were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mickey. Love the pod. It's such a comforting space for creatives, and I'm hoping you might have some advice for me. Thanks. That's very nice.
I know when they addressed it, hi, Mickey, I was like,
sweet.
Aw. I'm going to get that as a tattoo.
I'm a photographer and recently had my first experience with a client deciding not to move forward with me after their engagement session. I was honestly super proud of the gallery that I had delivered. I followed the Pinterest board that they gave me, added my own creative twist, kept true to my editing style, which I thought looked great, and even over-delivered on the number of photos. After the delivery, they mentioned some finer details that they didn't love. Things like wrinkles or background distractions, which I was happy to go back and fix. I was totally open to making those adjustments, but ultimately they said they didn't feel confident about moving forward for the wedding and were disappointed with the gallery. I'm not heartbroken. I know I did a good job, but I'm definitely bummed. I want all my couples to have a great experience, and I hate the idea of my work or name being misrepresented as they go on to book someone else. It's left me feeling a bit shaken and second-guessing how to handle situations like this in the future. So I guess my question is, what do you do when a client doesn't connect with your work or that you don't get along with personally? How do you move forward through the rejection without letting it live in your brain for too long? Thanks for all you do, from Anonymous.
Have you ever had this happen? Because I have.
Yeah, I mean, we did.
Oh, I didn't even register that.
Other than that, I have not.
Okay,
but
I have.
We had this happen for an associate wedding.
So technically I've had this happen twice. I'm going to talk about the first one if we want. We can talk about the second one.
We can talk about the second one for sure.
But the first one, it was my very first wedding, and we'll talk about how I think to deal with this, but this is just a word to the wise for all photographers or vendors out there. Shit happens.
Yeah.
And like I said, this happened to me, my very first wedding booking I ever had, and it also happened to me this year. So if you look at my work, if you look at Nikki's work, and you're like, oh my God, this shit never fully goes away. Okay?
Yep.
So my very first wedding I ever booked, I was so excited. I charged $1,750. Okay, $1,750, and I was so excited. I met with the couple, like really hit it off with them. Whatever.
I remember this.
So we have their engagement session. We go out for like tequila shots before. Well, I wasn't taking shots, but like they took tequila shots before. We had a great time at their session, I thought. The bride was even asking, like, can we do some like more sexy shots where like my shirt's kind of pulled back or like my dress is kind of pulled back to kind of show my bra, like a little bit more vibey, whatever. Thank you. Because that's how I felt in Nikki's face is how I felt in my head. But I was like, sure, like it's not my session. We can do whatever you want. So they get the session back and they're not happy. They just don't feel like this is the vibe of like editing and type of work that they want for their wedding day. They feel like there's not enough focus on the bride. They felt like there was more focus on the groom in the photos, which I guess I never thought about.
I think you showed me the gallery and I disagree.
But you know, to each their own, whatever. They just felt like it wasn't the vibe and they wanted to part ways. And I have to be honest, in that moment, I was devastated because I was like, this was my first wedding booking and now we're not moving forward, right? And the best part to me is, although I was devastated, they booked a new photographer and their wedding photos were a little bit more like light and airy and traditional, which is totally fine that that's what they wanted. But in my head, I'm going, why are we at your session and you're asking me to get you sexy pictures with your bra, but now you're saying, well, we want more traditional, light and airy, whatever. So I was like, sometimes you just cannot please people. Sometimes there is improvements you can make in your own business.
Agreed.
And I tell people this all the time, that even if something happens where you go, this doesn't really feel like my fault, you need to find a silver lining in terms of learning and development of how you can move forward and not run into this again. So I looked at that situation and was like, okay, well, moving forward, I need to make sure I'm showcasing full engagement galleries.
Yep.
Like, they can't just look at some wedding work of mine and think, yep, that's the vibe. Like, no, I want you to look at engagement galleries. I want you to look at wedding galleries. I want to talk about the style, but not always just the style you're wanting. I want to talk about what am I bringing to the table.
And having clear expectations. They have a clear expectation of what to expect when working with you. I think that's really important.
Because I get that every couple has like, oh, you know, maybe I like a little bit more serious or like vibey of a session. No, maybe I want really casual, really candid. That's fine. I can lean into those things. But at the end of the day, the gallery is still a gallery that I'm shooting with my style.
Yeah.
And also having that confidence in discussions with couples of letting them know that. Like, you have an inspo board, but that is just an inspo board. And I know some photographers who don't even want it. They're like, I'm not taking an inspo board because you're hiring me for my style, for what you've seen me do.
Pull inspo from my Instagram and then we can talk.
But why are we getting inspo boards of a bunch of other people's work? It doesn't quite make sense. So anyways, everything's a learning process. Now, this year, this also happened to us. And there's things I still am taking from it as a learning lesson. But in short, what I feel like we did wrong, that's what I want to focus on.
Okay.
Not what we did wrong, but what we could have improved on, was an inspo board was sent for like a very, think New York, Brooklyn, fall time, like
I don't
vibey.
remember seeing an inspo board.
I got it. And it was February in Minnesota. So there was discussions around like, this inspo board's beautiful. This is not what I wish I would have said was, this is not possible right now. Let's create a different inspo board if you want this session in February in Minnesota. And just, there was a lot of
back and forth.
And I felt like trying to appease when I wish that I was a little bit more confident and realizing ahead of time that this is not the right fit, and that I felt that I wasn't going to be able to make this person happy in the middle of February.
Right.
And I wish that I was more confident in that communication and more, I don't like the word like heavy-handed or strong-handed, but I just feel like
clear.
Yeah. A little
on
bit,
your boundaries even. Like,
And the session was had. Of course, it did not fit at all what they were originally wanting. And I was not surprised the lack of availability in terms of like locations and stuff that would have fit that vibe. And they just weren't happy with
it was pouring.
Yeah.
It was pouring rain. It was February. It's really difficult to, I think, truthfully make anybody happy that time of year who wants a very specific look to things. Realistically, it's not always going to happen. Mind you, I was the one who shot the gallery.
Yeah.
And they did not love it. And I'm very much with this photographer who's going to say, very confident in my work. I know how the photos turned out.
Yeah.
They were beautiful. They just didn't align with what they wanted.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything that we could have done about that specific situation. So I just, and they ended up, there was a lot that went down and they ended up saying like, hey, this is just not the right fit. And I felt that from the literal start, from even before the session. So I was happy to say, hey, totally understand, let's amicably part ways because I respect their decision. And for us, I didn't want us to be in a position where I felt like we were not going to be able to make someone happy. I want people to be happy. Like my whole goal in this is that people love their photographs.
And I would have felt wildly uncomfortable walking into a wedding day for somebody who already seemed to be displeased and 100% not confident in the work that we were presenting.
Yeah. And I feel like they hired another photographer who I really love. I think she does great work. I saw that they did engagement photos. It was so nice and beautiful outside. And I feel like it was a lot more of what they wanted. And I'm very happy for that. But it's just like you run into these situations sometimes and you just have to take them on the chin. And I remember talking to a photographer that I know out in Utah who's amazing, one of like Utah's top photographers, and she was dealing with a situation similarly, and she's just like, this stuff never ends, unfortunately. Like sometimes it's always like one or two clients a year that just you don't vibe with, whether it's work or personality.
You take it in stride.
Yeah, you take it in stride, you figure it out. But in this case, so what I think I'm trying to say to you is, it sucks. I know it sucks, but you have to look at it as a learning lesson and go, okay, what can I do moving forward? What can I do? Whether or not this is my quote unquote fault, how can I improve on my processes so that this doesn't happen again? And if it does happen again, it's okay. It's going to happen. Again, you learn from it. Unless it's becoming a common thing.
A repetitive thing is an issue. That's something that you need to pause your business and reevaluate what's going on here. However, if this is the first time that this is happening to you or a one-off, I mean, honestly, like I said, take it in stride. I think like not everybody's going to connect with your work and, or your personality. And that's kind of what the question is, like, what do you do when somebody doesn't connect with your work, your personality? You keep moving forward and you find people who do connect with your work and your personality, and you continue to build your business off of that because those are the people who are going to have confidence in you. Those are the people who you are going to vibe with and click with, who are going to love the product that you're delivering to them.
Yep.
And those are the people that you want to work with. Like, I also think, how do you move through the rejection without letting it live in your brain for too long? You can't dwell on stuff like that. Like, you have to move forward.
Let yourself feel it.
Yeah.
Here's what I know it sounds crazy. Adam lost his job. And I looked at him. I said, you have a day. I said, you have a day to like sit with it and think about nothing else and just like stew and sit and have beers and drink, like do whatever you want to do. You got a day. But then life moves on. Like, life moves on. You have clients who love you. You have like, there's other things to be done. You let yourself feel it because it's okay to feel it. And also, I think feeling it means you care so fucking much.
Right.
And on this pod, we see so many things where photographers are out here scamming people, not giving a shit about nothing. So the fact that you do care so much, that speaks volumes about you as a person, you as a photographer. Yeah. But shit's gonna happen.
And it can always be worse. Like I said in the beginning of this pod, it could always be worse. You could be in a position where you have nobody hiring you, where you're, begging for clients. But like, it sounds like this is somebody who has an established business, who has clients. I mean, they said I'm not really bummed about it, which I think that in and of itself says everything. Like, yes, you are sad because your client was displeased and decided to go a different route. However, what can you do?
Yeah. From a logistics standpoint, they want to end the contract. That's fine. Deposits not being returned. They can keep the photos. Like, you have done work on their wedding file. It's not like they just signed and then canceled the next day. So I would stay confident in that. I would not,
don't give them,
you know what I mean? I know that you might feel bummed, but it's not bummed enough to be like, well, I reserved this date for your wedding. I shot your engagement session, but I'll still give you your money back.
No,
that's not.
Especially over like wrinkles. That's not, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I if you show up with a wrinkly dress, steam it, iron it, hang it, and change when you get there. Don't wear it in the car.
Yeah.
And
also, this is a shout out to clients to be a little bit more realistic. If you show up looking a mess, then you're going to look a mess in your photos.
Yes, thank you.
Look at me right now. Look at me right now. Do you think I put on makeup for this podcast? Do you think I did my hair? No. But when I'm editing, I'm not like, damn, why don't I look like Giselle Bundchen in this video? We're all just fucking humans. Like, if you want your photos to look a certain way, show up and show out.
Run a brush through your hair.
Yeah. And I do my best if there's like an odd wrinkle here or there. But I will say I had an engagement session where the dress was like a silk or satin dress, more silk, I think, than satin. And it was wrinkly because it's like you fold that for 5 minutes and it's gonna wrinkle. It's gonna wrinkle. And I did my best in all the photos to take it out. But there were some where it was not possible. Like I tried painstakingly to take it out and it wouldn't. And I was like, well, it is what it is. And if the client would have come back upset at me, that would have irked me. I would have been like, well, then why did you come with a wrinkly dress? But you know what? She didn't say nothing. You know what she said? She said, I love the gallery. Thank you so much.
Thank God.
And I love them so much.
God.
But anyways, last thing I'll say that popped in my head earlier and I forgot to say it. There are some people out there who don't like Beyonce. Okay? Some people aren't going to like you. You could be the Swedish peach in the orchard. What do they say?
Somebody didn't like Mother Teresa.
Yeah, and someone sweetest peach in the orchard, and some people just don't like peaches. Yeah. So it's okay.
Not everybody's cup of tea, like Amaya Papaya said. Not everybody has to read this book.
Yeah. You don't have to be liked by everybody because you don't like everybody.
But stand 10 toes down on business.
On business. Okay. So next story. Or this is unpopular opinion. Not all wedding clients are worth pursuing. So I photographed weddings for years, and based on that experience, I've come to classify wedding clients into 4 rough categories. Understanding this early can save you a ton of frustration and money, especially if you're just getting started. So here are those categories of clients. Number 1, the photography is overrated couple. They want the cheapest option always, and once they get your lowest price, they'll try to squeeze even more from you. Red flags include, what's the best price you can do? No. Or can we get a discount if we don't need that many photos?
No.
Or our budget is 20 or 200 euro pounds, maybe? I'm not sure what that is.
That's a euro.
These clients will never value your work, no matter how low you go. My honest advice is do not bother trying to book with these clients. The second category, the budget-aware but open couple. They're price sensitive, but with the right pitch and presentation, they might stretch their budget. They often want the best deal, but aren't out to exploit you. They can be okay clients, but set clear boundaries and don't undercut yourself too much just to book with them. Third category, the knows what they want couple. They've seen your work, they respect your approach, and they genuinely care about good photography. You might need to walk them through your offer, but they're listening. Usually, you're their first pick. Treat them well. They become loyal advocates. And the fourth category of client is the dream client. They've been referred by your past clients. They already love your work. Price is not their primary concern. Trust is. They're emotionally invested, they're organized, and they value your time. These are the clients who make this job fulfilling. Not everyone will take this breakdown, or not everyone will like this breakdown, but in my experience, chasing category 1 clients does more harm than good, even if you're just starting out. It is okay to say no. You're not just building a portfolio, you're building a brand and career.
That was very well said. I wish they would have signed who they were.
Thoughts on that? Thoughts on if you are a brand new photographer, still not chasing those budget clients for experience or for portfolio work?
Yeah, I think you will have a better experience as a photographer if you spend more of your time and energy and effort on education, workshops,
Second
shooting, and getting real life experience, opposed to trying to get your own clients so much and so badly that you are willing to undersell yourself, and just really undervalue yourself for people who are also doing the same thing to you and undervaluing you and your work just to get a quick deal out of it.
Yeah.
Instead, like, I believe strongly in really building up like who you are as a business owner, as a professional, as a photographer, as a creative, and making yourself better throughout the beginning part of your career, instead of being like, well, I want my own clients. Like, your own clients will come. You really need to establish yourself and figure out who the fuck you are first before you even have the opportunity to have those clients. Because if you're saying you want your own clients so badly, it's going to be in that first category of people who are going to want to sell you short.
Yeah. Agreed.
And what are you doing?
And I think it's such a natural course for people to be like, well, I have to offer packages really cheap because I'm just starting out. And then you are getting the clients who, the cheapest packages I've ever sold, those clients have been some of the worst to me, both in just how they treated me, how they treated their wedding day, all of that different stuff. And do I wish that I did not do that? Of course I do, looking back. If I could do it all over again, I would second shoot for so many more people. I did not. I second shot for one person for the most part and didn't really work with anybody else, and then started out on my own. And now looking back, I do wish I saw a lot of other people work. And when I started booking my own weddings, kind of brought forth that experience of, okay, I have seen 100 weddings, or I've seen 40 weddings. I know it's a big difference, but to me, that's like a year versus 2-ish years of, I've seen so many different people work, their styles. I know what I like. I know how wedding days typically roll. I know the good, the bad, the ugly. I know how to handle things in times of distress. And now I can book my own clients at a better price point.
Right.
But offering like that first wedding $1,750, I'm like, what were you even doing? Like, you're just asking for trouble sometimes when you're booking that low. And I see people all the time.
I charged $600.
That's crazy.
For a 6-hour wedding day. And I thought that I was insane. I thought I was crazy.
You want to hear some? Oh, like, oh my God, someone's going to pay me $600.
I thought that I was charging too much.
Yeah. My issue is when I first started, I did all inclusive only. So I'm talking unlimited hours on wedding day, physical album, second photographer.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Dinner. $1,750. I think I was walking away with like a cool $200 or something like that. But I just so badly, I was so eager
to please.
Yeah, to please and to get bookings. Like, here's my reminder to people. And again, everybody's, perception's different. But there's a difference to me between being busy and being successful.
Right. I agree.
Just because you're booking international weddings, but you're only charging for your travel, to me, I'm sorry, that doesn't shout success to me. That shouts, I mean, yeah, you're booked and busy, but like, you're not making.
Are you spending more money than you are making?
Yeah.
From the
And
deal?
if you're doing that, like, being brand new, I get it. But people who are established and they're just so busy, but they're barely charging anything. Like, how successful really is that if you're still struggling financially? That doesn't scream success to me. And everybody's, version of that is different. But I'm getting to a point, and this might be a detriment to my inquiries, to my bookings, but that's kind of the point at this point, not to be repetitive. But I'm at a point where I say, hey, you need a full wedding planner, like not a day of coordinator. That is not because I care about the wedding budget, because there's people that have not had a day of coordinator or a planner that have a bigger wedding budget than if they did have a planner, because some of that money now has gone to a planner. To me, it's not about budget or making sure everything's perfect, but the day runs so much more smoothly. I have seen brides get up. Specifically, I had one who got up from hair and makeup. I counted like 17 times before her hair and makeup could be done to be asked questions, say this needs to go here, this needs to go there. By the end of it, before hair and makeup could be done, she was in tears.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, was this not worth a cool, quick 2 G's for a day of coordinator? Better yet, a planner, but at the very least, a day of coordinator. So I just, to each their own on what success is and the clients that you're booking. But I do feel like you get to a point where you go, not all money is good money. If I get to the wedding day and I now have 5 different jobs, I'm no longer just being able to.
And I'm stressed.
Yeah, I'm stressed. The couple's stressed. Like, no one's enjoying the day. Why have a wedding if you're not? If you're going to hate the day, why have a wedding?
I agree.
I don't understand it. That's so much money and time and energy put into that. So I don't know. I do agree with this submission though, or this
Yeah, I thought
these
it was
notes.
broken down very nicely, like
Yeah.
these 4 categories. I couldn't agree with more. And I think you as a business owner have to find, that peace and comfortability within yourself to say like, okay, I value myself and my business so much that I'm not going to put myself in these positions to be in category 1 or 2.
Yeah.
This
Agreed.
dog,
Did you want this sandal? Because it's now his sandal.
it is Monica's, so we're going to keep it.
Oh yeah. This is grandma's.
Yeah, that's your grandma's.
Technically, wait, okay, if you're Auntie Nikki, your mom, I don't
Great
know if
aunt.
there's okay, your great aunt, Moni. I love the name.
There it
Monica.
goes.
Okay, y'all. Well, that's about all we have. Thanks for joining this cocktail hour. Don't forget to subscribe, review the pod wherever you listen.
And follow along with us on Instagram at cocktailhour.podcast and submit all of your stories, hot takes, questions, comments, concerns in the link in our bio. Everything is anonymous.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.